Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I will be teaching you how to play Chopin's Nocturne, Op.15 number 2. The first thing that you should know is the F sharp major scale, and it's like this. And Chopin is going to use this scale to come up with the melody. So we have a melody like this. Okay, and you can see there that the scale is like this. And he's using that flavor. Okay, now to understand it better, we could say that this melody is based on the fifth chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We could build a chord there, C sharp 7, like this. And what he does is adding the A sharp to instigate on that chord, the B from the chord, back to the A sharp, and then resolving on the chord. And then you can see it there very clear. That is the chord and the A sharp. So now I'm gonna give you the fingers. So we have third finger with an accent, then quicker note, fifth, fourth, then third, second, one, and then maybe you could do 3, 2, 1. Okay, the important thing is the fifth chord is outlined, and the A sharp at the beginning creates tension. Yum pa da dum bum 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 bum. Okay, you should not start dry, so you can put the pedal down and then let that one ring, and then change here, change, almost every 2 notes. Okay, all right. You could measure this, but I found that it's easier if you first count in 4. So the piece is in 2, but we could do this exercise. Let's get rid of this. And let's count from here. So we could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Once you have that, you could do it in 2. So you could do this. 1, 2, 1. Okay, and then because this one here is an upbeat, we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That will be in 4. Now once you count in 2, you have to have the same sense. So you have 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1 again. Okay? Like I mentioned before, we should use the pedal a little bit at the beginning, pedal down, if I play slower. Now change here, put it back up, change, and then keep it. Also, you could just hold it once you pass this note. Like this. So, yum, pa, da, put it there and hold it. Okay. Let the ear tell you if you're using too much pedal or too little. The good rule would be that your ear feels like, oh man, that's too much, like this. That would be too much, see? So I have to clean it in between. Short notes here, portato notes. Okay, now because we're discussing this chord, we're gonna also use this chord on the left hand. So we're gonna have C sharp, and then we're gonna go to here, which you notice that are the same 2 notes. So we're gonna go this way. We do 1, we substitute to 4, play here, and then third here, and back to F. Okay, let's do it again. So C sharp, 4th finger substitution here, and then back to C sharp and F sharp. Okay. Now once you do it together, we have this one. I'm gonna do it extra slow now. We match here every other note. Much, much, and much. Okay? Once you do it quicker, you have yum pa da da dum bum bum bum. Notice that it says sostenuto, but it's also larghetto, so you could move a little bit. The yum pa da 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 da. Alright. Alright, we got that measure. Let's get to the next one. Now notice that we have the C sharp with a little accent there. It doesn't need to be too loud, still piano and tranquilo, but you have to emphasize more than the others. So if we did this, okay, and notice here that he's using the same technique with a different chord. When you do this, you have this chord, and that is no other than the first chord of the scale, F sharp major. So he just did it this way, okay, and he uses the D sharp to instigate again and then release back to the same chord. So okay, now notice long note, and then we go. So we have there a little bit in between. So okay, notice here, and then release back up. Okay, now because we have this chord, the first chord of the scale, we use the same on the left hand. So we have the F sharp, we have C sharp, and then we have these two notes. Okay, so we're gonna do this on the left hand. And while you're practicing, you could just think of the pedal a little bit, put the pedal, see what it sounds like. Sometimes you don't have to change it. You might have to do more subtle changes when you add both hands together. For instance, when you do this, maybe you want to switch the pedal on the D sharp since it's not part of the harmony. Okay? Now we're going to do it at the same time. So we have left hand, and then we're going to go back to C sharp. Now if we do it at the same time, we have this. I play left hand, and then I run right hand. Then I go here, and it repeats. Okay? So I'm going to play all of these two measures at the same time. So we have very slow. Much, 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 much. Now we run. Much there. And then this measure we're gonna change a little bit. So we do it again. Notice in the next part, measure 3 and 4, it's going to do the same with a little variation, a little improvised. So we have the same melody, but in between he's going to add the D. So that's all there is. So I'll do this. 3 and 5. Now 3, 2, 1. Okay, so and now we have to make a distinction between 5 notes, which we have here now, irregular value, and before we had just 4 16 notes. So now we have this. Pretty much once you get to this note, the E sharp, you have to run. You play these two regular, and then you do a triplet here. 1, 2, 3, 1. So pretty much if you subdivide it in 4, you have there. So I feel like I'm doing a triplet feel. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? Next part is gonna do this turn. And you have to do the same thing. In other words, you have to put 5 notes there with one of click. Let's say if it's divided in 4. And then we get there. Now the C sharp is 1. Now we have 2, 3, 2, 5, and then C sharp again. That will be measure 4. Now we're going to go back to measure 3 and remember that we did this. Now for this we're going to use the same harmony with the same substitution, and also the next measure is going to be the same. And then here you could do, see how I substitute and play that. Then it's going to change. So the entire left hand for those 4 measures is do, fa, ti, do. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Off. Okay. Now let's put measure 3 and 4 together. So we did. So now we're gonna do by itself. Now we're gonna match here. We're gonna match this one, and then we match here. Match. Play this one first. Now we run it. We match there again. I'll do it one last time very slow. So yum pa di da, match here, match there, match here. Left hand. Ta di da da da. There we get there. Sometimes see when the interval is wider. Ta di da da da. If we're doing it slowly, right? So we have one measure that's the tension feel here. The C#7. And the next one releases. Pedal there, a little change here if you want, change, okay. Now I'm going to play all 4 measures slowly, showing you the matching again, and then we'll continue. Match, increment the body a little bit, accent, tranquillo, repeat, yeah, match here, with a triple now, which is 5 notes. There's 5 notes. And then it's gonna change. So when you play it, you have to make it flow a little bit. So let's play a little bit more larghetto. It's not largo, it's a little bit faster. And also the same sostenuto. So sustain this sound as much as possible. So increment tension. Tension and release. Again. Alright? And you could be very light here. Okay? Very light. For that, sometimes see, because I have a lot of black keys, I go inside. See, I'm inside here, then outside, inside, thumb. I stay inside. And also I do an outside here. So rather than hammering the notes like this, I do it outside. It's almost like I'm doing this. Alright, that will be the touch for it. So make sure you do this. So increment. Okay, that will be it. Let's just play it now. Yum pa da 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 dum dum. Yum pa da da da. Yum pa da 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 da. Notice that now we're gonna change. So we do the same motive. Instead of this, right? Now we went a step up. So we used to start here. Now we start here. Tim party dun dun din 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 din. So that's the same, just in a different combination there. So we have the B, C sharp, B again, A sharp. Then like a G, F double sharp, D's. Alright, so I like here 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So yum party the release, and accent. Okay. Now as you can see, dum party there is telling you the chord already there, and this is a D#7, but when you run the scale, you have the D# minor 7, so he raised that note right here. So the left is gonna use those notes, and you have to think D sharp, and do the same procedure here. Substitute fingers, play that, and then back. I'll do it slowly again. So substitute, and then we get the G sharp minor there. To put it together is the same procedure. We have party together here, together there, together here, and that's all there is. So a little faster now. Increment, more sound, less sound now. And we get to the accent. Now fairly simple here. We're gonna go to F sharp, long note, do, 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 di, and that's all we have. The last one could be short, short but with pedal, okay? So notice that he goes to the first degree, now he goes to the sixth, now first degree, second, third, okay? And he's gonna harmonize within it. So we have the G sharp on the bass, and then this chord, 4, 2, 1 here, and you have to think on this. G sharp minor. He just did this G sharp on the bottom right there, and then he has this inversion, and then B an inversion also. So it's all the same chord here, and then we end up with this C sharp. Okay, now let's do it at the same time. So we do this. Notice that we have short note to get us to the next position. So, okay, pedal up and down there, up and down here, and up and down here. Okay. Notice that when you punch this one, you go down and then throws you here, go down and then throws you here. Alright, let's put it at the same time. Much and much. Let's do it once again. So, much here, much, by itself, much, much. Okay? And then we're going to change. Now, this we keep it running, so we keep this running and we play the C sharp. And you could say there, like a C sharp ninth there, the 9th degrees here, okay, with the G, which kind of feels like a little bit like a suspension there. So we only have to play this C sharp though. So if we do this, we play there. Now we're going to go here. Trill. Okay, let's take a look at that. So we end up, we were holding these two notes, right? Now we have the B, trill. Try to run it like that. We have ornament, and that's all there is there. Now we have the B with the 4th finger, the 3rd finger, trill. Now 2 and 3, always rotate back and forth and let them run by itself. And now 1, 2, 3, substitute to 4, and then 3, 2, 1, 3, and the chord here. Okay? Alright, let's break down a little bit more this measure. So we start with the A sharp, and then you have the B long note, trill, we get there. Okay, just think on that. Now because we have the B here, we're gonna add the left hand. Remember that we have the A sharp, we're gonna add the C sharp there like this. That's the beginning of the measure. Now we have this, and you could think a little bit, if you think on the B, D sharp, and F sharp, you could think of B major, and you go 4th chord of the scale right there. That's what he's using. Alright, so we finish up right there. Now we go here with these two notes. We run the trill, we put the C on the left hand, we resolve. Okay, now let's do it again. So left hand we have this from before. We play the C sharp, we play the F sharp and D sharp, part of B major. We do a single line, C. Now we have here that F and the C sharp, and then we do. You notice here we get to a D sharp minor there. Now sometimes you have things like this that we're gonna take a look once we play it together. Okay, so let's go back now and try to put together. So we have the left hand like this. That's what we have. Now let's do it slowly together. So we have here this going on from before. So we're gonna play it there. We match. Now we play here. We go here, and on G sharp we run the C. Run the trill, da da. We match here, and now we do quick to get us to D sharp minor, which is the 6th chord. Right there we have it. Okay, I'm gonna do it one last time. These two measures, 6 and 7, slowly. So we have this. D major, trill, match there, match here. See here we have like an F major now. Now you see the chord outline there again, C sharp major, and we go back. Okay, I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed, subscribe. Also, thank you very much and all my supporters from Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee.